Alright, so we're gonna start watching Incredible Crew. Everyone introduce yourselves.
I'm Josh.
I'm Miguel.
Yeah.
Dan.
Oh. Zoomed in on your head.
What?
I zoomed in on your head when it went from Miguel to you. Yeah. Anyone have like any opinions of the show before we go into it?
I know literally nothing about the show whatsoever. I only saw some commercials for it, watching Adventure Time regular show. I'm assuming it's sketch comedy, I was guessing.
Yeah.
Is it on right now?
Yeah. So we just finished watching Incredible Crew. Anyone have thoughts on what you just saw?
We had never seen the show before, and we really just watched 2 random episodes.
Yeah, we saw like 2 episodes out of the blue on demand. We didn't actually.
Which is not like how I usually do things. Usually before I watch something, I'll look up on Wikipedia, I'll IMDb it, see who's on the cast, see who wrote it.
Yeah.
And interesting enough, 2 of the writers, one of them was from the Groundlings, from the legendary sketch comedy group, who's also written for SNL and Mad TV. The other writer,
Nick Cannon. Right?
well, Nick Cannon's a producer, who produces it.
Yeah.
And the other writer wrote for the Mad show on Cartoon Network.
I like Mad. I think it's pretty funny.
Man.
It's really hit or miss.
Well,
I liked when they were joking around with like comic books.
Yeah, but I feel like
They had a lot
this
of
is
DC
not a show
books.
that's for my age group.
yeah, that's probably the number one problem with the show is that it doesn't even appeal to us. But then again, I don't think a lot of kids that are younger than us wouldn't even like it that much either.
I think the biggest problem with the Incredible Crew is I went in watching it like expecting to hate it, like I thought it'd be the worst thing ever, and I honestly just was really bored by it. Like it was really safe, really uninteresting comedy, basically.
Well, that's pretty much my whole problem with it. I mean, I was basically falling asleep because there was nothing like interesting about it. It didn't like it would just repeat the same joke and didn't build up to anything. Like the bad detective guys, like it was literally the same. They had the same sketch 3 times. They had the same. They did it 3 times, and every time it was just the person like they showed up, destroy the whole place, and don't
found in your hand.
They don't actually find
Yeah, they had
anything.
the same punchline for every single sketch.
Like they really did.
This pretty much proves my theory I have, which is like interestingly bad and memorably bad are way better than just like mediocre and forgettable and boring. And that's what I honestly am having trouble remembering anything that happened, and we really just turned it off and turned the camera on.
Oh, what about the banana sketch with like the kid eating the banana? That's probably one of the worst.
Like the sketch where the kid's doing like the most
things you don't brag about. That was so stupid.
It was really dumb. I really didn't like it.
There was like one
There was
funny
some
thing.
funny things in there. Like some things you can. I'm a cheap laugh. I'm a really cheap laugh, and that was hard to laugh at.
Yeah. I don't think I had much more than like a mildly interested chuckle between the 2 episodes we saw. Which how long are the episodes?
They're like half an hour.
They're half hour each.
So between like an hour of comedy, I got maybe like 3 chuckles.
Yeah, what was like
Same with me.
So we're all agreeing to the fact that it sucked.
It sucked.
Yeah, it was really bad.
But what was like was there a sketch that you thought was like decent?
I don't even remember what I laughed at.
Decent.
Like I left out one thing. I don't even remember what it was.
The person painting the portrait and it turns out it was a lizard woman.
I think that was it. I think that was it.
I think like towards the end of the wolf.
Yeah, the wolf sketch was
like where it was like Wolfception. The wolf is thinking about a wolf. And that was pretty funny.
It was leading up to
whack.
something.
That was
Didn't
whack.
go anywhere.
Yeah, I think that's the big problem is that none of the sketches either they went 2 ways. Either they sat on a joke way too long. They took a one-note joke try to stretch.
Remember the one with the
snowman.
the snowman.
Sketch.
Yeah.
Or like they cut the legs out for him before it had time to build any sort of momentum.
It was like the snowman
Or they
did
did like
for leaving, and it's like
super miss like the kid who dreamt about being homeschooled, who woke up at 5:30,
5:26,
which is really early. That's earlier than me. Almost.
Yeah, it's like it's 5:30. Why?
I think it's part of the problem when you're trying to write it because the show is written I think for tweens, like 12 to 14-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's that awkward age where it's like you can't be too edgy, but you can't be totally like
tame,
not edgy.
Childish.
Childish. That's a good word for it. So it's like I don't think they understand. Like they're having trouble hitting what their audience wants.
Yeah, you're right. But like a lot of shows have been able to do it successfully. Like I know there was I don't know if you guys know this, but like Disney had a sketch show with like a couple of years back, and like
Really?
but it was aimed at tweens too. But like some of the sketches were were okay.
I think while watching it, I think the feeling I got was that they were really holding back.
Yeah,
like they had funny ideas, but they didn't know how to develop them.
I think the acting was
trying to act in the parameters that the network gave them.
That wasn't the only problem, though.
I don't know if that was,
some of it was just the actors in general. I think they picked bad people.
What really messed me up was the music aspects.
What do you mean?
Like
music,
like just a random song.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Like the first episode we watched was straight a barrel and no holds bars right into a song.
Yeah,
that was
right.
like 6 minutes long.
Yeah,
it was way too long of a sketch.
Yeah, honestly, keep shorter songs would have made it a lot better, and getting to a point.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand what was happening that whole song.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think it was him trying to get at like a girl or something.
Yeah, I think it was trying to get at a girl.
All the songs were someone trying to get at a girl.
It was like,
I think that's what they assume all 13-year-old boys think about, is trying to get girls.
Kind of like in a roundabout way, trying to appeal to a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one was just like, oh, you're just using women to get your stuff done and to borrow their food.
Yeah.
And never give it back.
No, it was the school projects. He didn't do his
No, he also borrowed a pudding cup.
And for those from the other girl.
And never give it back.
And then there was
there's some scintillating plot points going on. A lot of tough character stuff going on. Deep stuff.
And then when he sees the Latino girl, he automatically thinks,
"Jesus, salsa music."
Spanish.
Yeah, like
that's why you start throwing burritos out.
that was pretty racist.
But what about like the what was it? I'm drawing a blank here. What was that girl with like she was like a grandma and she was burping?
The burping grandma?
Yeah.
Okay, I two things about the hidden camera aspects. One, whoever that girl is, she commits to the part.
Yeah.
Like she gives it everything. That's one thing I noticed with the acting is that they really were trying, but the materials wasn't there to back up their efforts.
It made them look like they suck.
And like I feel like the guy doesn't know how to direct kids because like either they're going way too hard on the material, like they're being way too over exaggerated, or it was quite the opposite where they just seemed bored and uninterested in what they were talking about.
Like when I feel like every time that they were on camera, they looked interested in what they were doing.
I'm thinking more talking about like the side characters.
Yeah.
Like who?
Like say I can't think of specific steps, but say sketches about a specific person, like people around them are just really bored. That's how I felt anyway.
Well, I think with the one that comes to mind when I think of it is the Soul System Wolf, where like you have the girl there in the classroom and then the other kids.
She's just screaming her head off.
Exactly.
She was really trying hard. Like she was swinging for the fences with that.
But the kids, I think, were supposed to look that way. You don't think they were supposed to be like, bored?
Well, it looked like they're trying at their parts.
Huh?
What, you mean look like they're trying at their part?
No, like they were trying to show like the difference between her being like overly energetic and the kids just there in the classroom.
I felt that of all the sketches I saw, that was probably the most well written one.
I guess
the teachers had the perfect sort of like non-reaction to this woman screaming her head off in the little class.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
That was the one sketch.
Have you guys actually seen like sketch shows for like these type of sketch shows, like
kids?
Before?
I haven't seen anything since like all that.
I guess
The Amanda Show.
Okay, yeah. Because I was just wondering. I thought I was the only one that like.
I've seen clips of You Can't Do That on television.
Oh, I never. That was like way before I was born.
I didn't even know
that was before I was born.
I'm not for sketch shows for children. I just think it's a
Me neither.
stupid idea.
They can be. I don't.
Because comedy specifically is supposed to like take you to weird places. It's supposed to be unexpected and crazy. And a lot of I've had this conversation with somebody about R-rated movies, and they feel that a lot of R-rated movies go too far and blah blah blah. And I mentioned how most movies I see tend to be art, but that's because the crazy creative types, people like Quentin Tarantino, David Fincher, those people like do stuff not because they're sick people, because like when you're creative, you don't feel constrained by things. Like you don't feel like, oh, I can't put that in there. You're totally creative minded, and that's where a lot of good comedy, like the big comedy stuff recently, the big things, Judd Apatow type movies, which are like rated R, and people dropping F-bombs and stuff, and like creativity doesn't come from constraints. But when you get a kid sketch comedy show, that's just constrained.
They're so restricted to. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Like it didn't really set up punchlines and deliver jokes. It just sort of gave you something that they.
It just kind of showed it.
Yeah,
to
it was
you.
like this is something that looked funny on paper. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Like, blam, laugh at it. Like this kid's eating a banana, laugh at it. Or there's a snowman, laugh at it. Like, it didn't build up to it. It didn't develop the joke at all. It was just sort of like it's like the definition of throwing something against the wall and hoping it sticks.
In the loudness, like remember we were talking about earlier, like how they think that like just screaming something out loud automatically gives you laughs.
Instead of giving you a punchline, they have someone yell something.
Yeah, and most of the time it's just nothing.
Really, like the worst type of humor outside of
like I'm sorry to like point him out, but this is kind of the only way you recognize him is the black kid. Like remember the black kid? Like almost every sketch he was in, he was like shouting at the top of his lungs. Yeah.
He just got propelled out of the
Or even the commercial that we saw where he had like the air horn and he like, I found my air horn. That was whack.
I mean, I guess what they're assuming is that the 12-year-olds will just instinctively laugh because
it's stupid. It's crazy.
It's silly.
Something random out of
Yeah.
Random isn't funny.
It's not so random.
Random contrasted to not random is funny, but just if the whole show is just random and silly, then it just blends in.
Sometimes some of the sketches that were random were funny, like the one with the frog.
Yeah,
like
that's the only sketch we can think of that we laughed at.
I saw you guys laughing at the bop. What was his name? The freaking
the alien puppet? Sock puppet thing.
You guys were laughing at that. Like it sounded like you guys liked that one for some reason.
I don't know why.
It was relating to ET, kind of. But it was just showing.
I actually kind of groaned in the ET thing because I feel like it's been like what 20, 30 years.
I don't think half those kids have seen ET, so why would that work? Maybe because they've seen so many parodies.
I don't know. Like 5 or something.
I don't know. They show it at Nick at Night. Don't ask me how I know that.
I was surprised by how few movie parodies and stuff were in there.
I know.
Because I assume this would be like they're just gonna throw parodies at the screen, kind of like date movie and epic movie.
Well, they did a Hardy Boys parody, and honestly, that's really old. No, I don't know anyone who in my age group that actually even read Hardy Boys anymore.
You did?
I read Hardy
I don't think it was a Hardy Boys parody. I think it was just mystery.
Just two guys being
just solving mysteries.
I
Yeah.
guess anytime two boy can meet like detectives are together, it's automatically a Hardy Boys parody. Naturally, like
it's just a doll. There's nothing to say about it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I will say I love things that are so bad that I think they're good. I will be the first person to defend something so bad that it's.
I think all of us do that, but was this one of those things that was like that?
It's horrible. Like you hate it so much. I will love it to death.
Are you trolling?
I will troll people.
Yeah, that's what
I can't.
You're Miguel. You would do that.
You're like a whole troll. Just Miguel's equal.
I can't
troll.
do it with Incredible Crew. I can't.
Yeah.
It's just that bad.
Yeah. All right. Well,
it's not.
We all agree
so
it sucks.
You want to see like a final word on it?
I guess if you want, you guys want to say something? Yeah, it sucks.
Ratings.
Yeah. What's one word you would use to describe this show? Let's go. Let's just go in.
Boring.
All right.
Tiring.
All silence. He's speechless. Incredible.
I'm so fresh, you can suck my nuts. I'm so fresh, you can suck my nuts. Swag. I'm so fresh, you can suck my nuts. I'm so fresh, you can suck my nuts.
Boobs.